Hello, eRank. Welcome to another live eRank Q&A with me, Pam Duthie. Just me. Uh, Hopefully everything is working okay today. Sadly, Starla and Anthony can't be with us. So did I actually stop that playing? Yeah, if this is your first time here, welcome. If you're watching us in YouTube, there will be links to the Facebook group if you want to join that, and then you'll be able to leave questions earlier on Wednesdays in the Facebook group. But otherwise, I will get to your questions here once I've dealt with yesterday's questions in the Facebook group. Those of you who've been here for a while will know if I'm here by myself, I'm going to need your help. So if you can hit me up with all the questions that you've been saving up, and also if you can join me in the chat and sort of help me out with the answers to the questions if there's certain things I don't know. Yeah, because it's going to be totally awkward. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with those questions that came in the Facebook group. I create a post every Wednesday for you to get your early bird questions in. So we prioritize those questions first, and then I will dip back into the questions that are coming in live in YouTube and the questions that are coming in live in Facebook. So let's start with the early birds. So first one from Anna. I have two questions. That is perfectly okay. I know we can send PDF files as well as an image file directly to customers in Etsy messages, but does sending PDF files to a customer compress or reduce the quality of the design? I've heard it might. To my understanding, if you are uploading the PDF file and the customer is then downloading it directly, then it should be at the quality that you saved the PDF file in. I'm not 100% sure. If anyone can let me know, but any files that I've downloaded from Etsy have been reasonable quality, so it should be okay. You can probably check this out by downloading the files yourself and having a look. I think you can download them from your listing yourself to check out. But if someone in chat can let me know, as I say, that's not something I really know a whole lot. We'll get on to part 2 of the question. Does it affect SEO to add keywords in the materials field? I'm a digital product seller. I usually pop in PDF and digital download. I've seen sellers put in things like dream journal and other specifics. Material section does not impact your SEO. It's really, it's been there since the start. It's a sort of historic thing. I don't even know that many people even look at it a whole lot anymore, but it is there. It's your ingredients list. It's your materials. It is supposed to say, if you've got a physical item, say what the things are in it, especially if you've got something like that could cause allergies to things. But to my understanding and any of my testing, the materials has never impacted the SEO. Etsy has never spoke about them including the materials field in anything. So it is just there to help your customers. So I hope that helps there. Othila, did I get your name right? I have a question about strategy. What's a good amount of time to test a strategy before changing it? For example, how long would you test spending X amount on ads before deciding if it's helping or not? Or if I was to change my main listing photo, what's a good amount of time to let it run before deciding to change it back? Right, that is a great question. It's one of these that it's really difficult to answer absolutely directly, because it absolutely depends. What I'll explain by that is, to be able to get a good idea of whether a test's working or not, you need a sensible amount of data. For example, most people talk about a 2% conversion being a sort of average on Etsy. It'll depend on what kind of niche you're in and the price of your items and a whole load of things. But if we imagine a 2% conversion as a reasonably good conversion, so to even be able to tell if, say, if you've changed your main listing photo, you're wanting to know, or your ads or whatever, you're wanting to know if you've increased your number of views and if you've increased your number of sales, if you've increased your conversion. So to really get an idea if something has had an impact like that, you're going to need a whole load of views. Roughly from ads, it's almost roughly 1 or 2% sort of click conversion. Well, it's a click-through rate from your ad being seen to people clicking on it, and then a 2% conversion from people clicking on it to buying it. So you're going to need thousands, if not tens of thousands of impressions on your listing. Your ad has to be seen that number of times. And then people are going to have to view it at least hundreds of times for you to be able to tell if you're getting enough sales from it, if it's a good enough conversion. So the same if you've changed your listing photo, again, it depends how many daily views do you generally get from something like this. If your listing is generally getting hundreds or thousands of views every single day, then you can tell in a couple of days if it's made much of a change. But if you generally only get, and most of us for each listing only get 1 or 2, 10 views a day. So to actually be able to tell if it's a meaningful difference, you're going to have to be waiting a good number of days. You're going to have to be waiting to at least get a few hundred, a few thousand views. So for most people, that's going to be at least a month. It might be a few months, and it's difficult to tell. So it's to wait long enough until you've got enough data. There's no 100% right answer, but I hope that helps a little bit. Yay, on to the third question already. Don't forget, get your questions in the YouTube or the Facebook, and I will get to them once we're done with this. Rebecca, I've heard recently that words in our tags are all interchangeable. Is this true? Meaning that the algorithm would catch the word shirt from nature shirt tags and mix it with another word like outdoor, but I wouldn't have to do a tag specifically for outdoor shirt. This helps me need not to repeatedly use the word shirt in every tag. Can you clarify this a bit? Absolutely. The Etsy search engine looks at the words you're using in your title, in your tags, attributes, descriptions, everything else, but the title and tags are the most important place. And it can pick and mix and match the words across the whole thing. So if you had the word outdoor in the title and the word shirt in a tag, it could mix and match them. That being said, exact match is a little more relevant than these kind of broad spread out matches. So if your title says outdoor shirt and one of your tags says outdoor shirt exactly like that, you might rank a little bit higher than if the words were spread out a little bit more. But each listing, we should really only be aiming for 2 or 3 like real superstar keywords. Like these are the ones we're totally aiming for. And if outdoor shirt is that superstar keyword for your listing, absolutely have outdoor shirt in your title and in your tags. But then if you found other keywords, like you definitely wouldn't need the single tag. You wouldn't need to use just the word shirt as a standalone, because the tag and the title saying outdoor shirt has the word shirt in it. It's as relevant as it can be for the word shirt. If you also saw that nature shirt was a kind of secondary, a tag that a keyword that you looked at and you thought, yeah, this is kind of cool, but it's not my superstar keyword. It's like one, it's not, maybe not so competitive. It's not such an important one, but I want to throw it in. Maybe I'd like to rank for it if anyone searches for it. You don't necessarily have to have the full, you don't need to put it in your title, and it's not so important to have the exact tag in, to have the exact keyword in your tag of nature shirt. You could have I'm trying to think of other words that could go with it, but you could have something like nature, camping, for him, all these. Your final tags could just be relevant words, and then the Etsy algorithm, if someone searches for something that looks a bit relevant, can pick them up and show it. So that's all possible. And you've got to bear in mind that this ranking is only a sort of starter kind of thing. This is Etsy saying, this is what we think your item is. So if you had an item that had outdoor in the title and shirt in the tags, Etsy would show it sometimes in search. And if what happened was when you were being shown sometimes in search, people were clicking on it at a higher rate than the other things that was getting shown in search, even if that tag, even if that keyword wasn't optimized the best across the title and tags, if when it's been shown it's doing well, Etsy's going to start ranking it higher. So it kind of trumps all if you have an amazing listing that's doing absolutely great. I hope that kind of makes sense. Linda, maybe we should go over the make an offer feature on vintage items. I'm sure there'll be lots of questions. There's a link in the FAQs, but not everyone looks at it. I just set up 2 items to give it a test come April the 5th. Yeah, for those that haven't heard, now this is for vintage items, so I don't have it yet. I haven't had time to look deeply into it. But yeah, Etsy is given the option for vintage items for buyers to make an offer. Yeah, if anyone has any questions or comments on that, I haven't looked into it any deeper than that. I haven't even given myself time to have a full load of thoughts on it, because I don't want to just knee jerk. It's easy to look at these and go, "Ugh, don't like this change." Ugh. And that is my knee jerk reaction, but there could be some good reasons for it. So yeah, guys, let me know in chat. Are you a vintage seller? Have you seen this make an offer option? And are you opting in? It's going to be in a test from April the 5th, as far as I know. So I will dig into it and have a look at it a bit better. So yeah, let us know in the chat what you think of it. Right. Scott, I have a question about bulk edits. I want to add a sentence to the end of all my descriptions alerting buyers to the fact that downloads don't work on the app. Will doing a bulk edit on 450 plus listings all at once have any negative effect on ranking? No, it really shouldn't. If you're adding something to your description, you're not removing any keywords that are working, and your description is not, although Etsy says your description counts in your SEO now, as far as we can see with any testing, counts a teeny tiny bit. But no, something like that shouldn't make any real difference at all. It certainly isn't going to crash all your listings or anything. Your description, most important, is there to help your customer. Adding a sentence or 2 at the end to explain to them something that's important to explain is a good thing for your customers. It won't hurt you at all. Christy, when looking at the spotted on Etsy section from my dashboard, what does it mean when it says it's spotted by an eRank monitor? Is this different from being spotted by an actual shopper? If so, how would you use this information? Great question. And I think this should be something we can do, because it's just me. We can do a live demo. So let's see if I can do this. Let me know if everything's okay with the screen and everything, but let's have a quick look at this. So here is the spotted on Etsy. Let me find the right page myself. So if you don't know how to get to it, you can either get through spotted on Etsy on this little white bar, or it is shop spotted on Etsy or monitor. So you'll see on this, you can see spotted by eRank monitor or Etsy visitor. These are 2 different things. Now, firstly, the eRank monitor. Now, you have this area edit keywords. This is to put in your superstar keywords. So once you've put those in, let's go back to all keywords. Once you've put those keywords into your, there we go. Once you put those in, that tells eRank that you want to start Spotted on Etsy. This is a great tool. If you haven't set it up, I would advise everyone to go in, add even one superstar keyword. This is a keyword that you're hoping is really relevant for your shop. And then what happens is, this is like the rank checker on eRank. If you haven't used the rank checker, all that does is it searches in the Etsy API. So this is effectively the search engine before the personalizations are added. So every time somebody searches on Etsy, Etsy uses its list of where things are ranking based on what we're seeing in the API. That's its first place. It searches through that, but then it adapts it slightly depending on who's searching, where they're from, what kind of search history they've had in the past, what other people are searching like. So everybody sees something slightly different. So we're able to use the Etsy API, which shows where Etsy is ranking your items in search before the personalizations. So I look at this as a sort of, this is Etsy grading your SEO. This is Etsy saying what it thinks of your listing. So that's pretty cool, as it were. So the rank checker, you put in a keyword, eRank searches Etsy's API, finds out if your listings are ranking. So the Spotted on Etsy, this just does this automatically every day for the keywords you've given it. So eRank Monitor just means it's our little system once per day going into the API and having a look for these keywords to see where you're ranking. It just looks on the first 2 pages because we're doing this for the millions of the million plus eRank users and for all their keywords. And not only is it looking for the one or the many keywords that you added, it's searching for all the keywords that we have in our database. This is like an extra cool bonus. It's not just searching for the keywords you put in, it'll search for everything. So if there's other people in your kind of niche that have put some cool sounding keywords in, you might see if you're ranking for keywords you hadn't even thought of, which is awesome. So you'll see here, last night, the eRank Monitor, our little system, went and looked in the API for all of my listings with the term bespoke needle. No idea where that came from, but it's probably someone else has put in a keyword. But it went, searched for bespoke needle, and it found this listing of mine on the second page of Etsy, of the Etsy API rankings. It found it on the second page at position 42. So this is really important in that it's showing nightly where you're ranking in search. But it's not showing if people are searching for it. It's not showing, is bespoke needle a very important keyword? Is anyone searching for it? So it's like the first step. Those keywords that we decided are important, it's looking and seeing, do you rank for them? That's great. If I keep ranking for them and I never get any views from it, then I can maybe go, okay, I've done as good as I can with that keyword, but sorry, it's a bit rubbish. Nobody's searching for it. So I'll try a different keyword. Now we have the other thing here. We said spotted by Etsy visitor. Now what this is, because I have Google Analytics connected up to my Etsy shop and I connected that to my eRank account, this is eRank using my Google Analytics data to tell me at that time on that day, this listing of mine was seen from an actual visitor on Etsy from Sweden, awesome, searching for the exact term they searched in was felt border collie, and they're a very patient person, and they clicked through 8 pages of the search. This is the actual place that person saw my listing ranking for. The position 12 on page 8 on the actual search. So this is cool because this is showing actual Etsy buyers who are on the site, the actual keyword they searched for, my listing was shown to them and they clicked on my listing. So I hope that shows that's a kind of different thing. So that is not a keyword I have optimized for at any point. If I kept seeing that come up an awful lot, I might say to myself, hey, I could maybe focus in some more on that term, make some more listings with that kind of term. I could maybe rank a little bit higher in search and do a little bit better. So yeah, that's what that spotted on Etsy is. I hope that kind of makes sense. But anyway, yeah, there we go. Right, let's get through the rest of the questions. Ooh, if I can click on the right button. Let's get through the rest of the questions and then we can dive into the chat. Okay, so Lynn, is it advisable to use almost the same title tags and descriptions with highly searched keywords if you're selling one-of-a-kind items like t-shirts in the same niche? Or is it better to use different combinations of highly searched keywords on my listings to have a better chance of being found? Yeah. As Starla always says, when she had her jewelry shop, she mainly made skeleton key necklaces. So just about all of her listings said skeleton key necklaces because that's what they were. So if that's what your listing is, then absolutely you would have to keep saying what your listing is. I would say your title tags and descriptions can be similar, and if it's working for you, absolutely, that's fine. But you don't want them to be all the same, especially if it's not working. You want to cast that line out, with different bait. If you're fishing analogy here, you don't. If you're fishing, let's say if you're sitting fishing and you have 10 rods and you cast them all into the same lake and you use all the same bait, if it's a bait that's super works, you're probably going to catch lots of fish. But if the bait isn't working, 10 rods with all the same bait on it is going to do nothing. So if you don't know what is working for your listings, it's a good idea to spread out and try lots of different things. If you know what's working, you can maybe sort of niche down a little bit. I would still always be training, experimenting with different things as well, because what can happen, I think a lot of us are seeing this just now, is buyers start using different terms to search for the same thing. In the past, they used to use personalized, then they used custom, then they used personalized again. What the actual terms that they're using changes slightly. So it's kind of good to have little experiments with slightly different things as well. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Just keeping on doing the same thing again and again isn't going to do you a whole lot better. Your shop will get known for that one certain thing, but it's good to have your eggs in different baskets as well sometimes. So yeah, I think I just said a mix a mix of everything. And do I need to add a plural form of my main keyword, like T's for a T, to my title tags and descriptions? The Etsy algorithm understands the difference. It understands singular and plural are the same thing. So you could just choose one. Again, with that relevancy, if the customer is searching for T's, the plural, and your listing says the plural, then there's a chance that you'll rank slightly higher. So I would tend to say pick the exact match for the keyword combination that looks best using something like the eRank rank checker, the combination of people searching for it in competition that looks best for you. But again, that's something else you can experiment with on different listings. You definitely don't want to really be having your title saying the plural and singular at the same time. Definitely be careful, especially because that can look like people might be thinking, am I getting one t-shirt or several t-shirts or something? So if your item is a singular thing, use the singular. If the singular and the plural can work both, then play around with them in different listings. I wouldn't do it in both. And Lynn's third question there, is there still a chance to be found and have sales on Mother's Day if I put up my listing about a month before the holidays? Just about to open my Etsy seller account tonight. Oh, best of luck with that. To work on sample orders. Likely to have my first listings up either the first or second week of April. Am I already late for Mother's Day by then? Well, in the UK, it was Mother's Day last week, so you're too late for that. But you're never too late. What is going to happen is as we've already had Mother's Day in the UK, there are some shops that have already started selling for Mother's Day type terms. So they already have an authority for that keyword. They're already ranking high. So some of the really big keywords might be much harder to rank for the later you leave it. But you're not too late. You can sell any time that there's time for the item to get shipped to the person, but you will just have to look for different keywords and things. It's absolutely not impossible. But I would say if your aim is for Mother's Day, get stuff ready right now. Don't be saying it's going to take me a few weeks. See how quickly you can get things up. Excuse me. Oh, I hope that helps anyway. Oh, great. That's all the questions there from the early bird chat. So I can check. Oh, excuse me. Oh. So we can get on to the YouTubes and then we'll dive back into Facebook. But I hope that answered everyone's questions. And don't forget, get questions in if you haven't already. I'm here for another half hour if you ask the questions here. So on the YouTubes, I sound so down with the kids. On YouTube, we have Kaz. Can I include my listing, the information that each order comes with a free sticker? Is that all right within the Etsy rules? Absolutely, you can. You're telling the customers what they get. Just make sure it's clear. We can't have like secret boxes or lucky bags or anything like that. The people have to know what they're buying. But yeah, sure, there's a free sticker bunged in with it. Absolutely, you can say that. Yeah. You can add it or you can leave it as a lovely surprise for the people. Yeah, there's nothing against the rules in doing that. Jillian, I quite like this. How can a brand new month-old shop with listings that are missing tags have 100% visibility? Meanwhile, my 3 shops' visibility is in single digits. How can visibility be increased? Right. Firstly, so we'll cover what visibility is and how to increase visibility, and then I'll cover how a brand new shop could have this fantastic visibility. Because there's a lot of confusion with visibility. Basically, what it is and what it's not. Visibility is not a predictor of what's going to happen in the future. It's not saying your listings are good or anything like that. It's not any kind of marking. Visibility is simply your average daily views on that listing that listing's already had compared to the average daily views of other listings on Etsy. So if you have a 50% visibility, then your listing has average daily views. It has pretty much what all other listings have. If your listing has 100%, well, let's say 99% visibility, then it is in the top 1% of listings on Etsy for the number of daily views it's having. And if it is lower, then if your listing has a 20% visibility, then there is 80% of listings on Etsy have more daily views than your listing. So it's telling you the things that have already happened. So any changes, if you've got a listing that's 5 years old and you make changes to it, even if it doubles its views every day going forwards, it's going to take a while for that visibility to change, just because it's an average of the total number of views you've had divided by the total age of the listing. So it's just got so much historic data there behind it. So it'll take a bit of time to come. So visibility is not telling you what's going to happen. And it's not really something you should be focusing on to say, I've made changes, why is my visibility not changing? The purpose, how I use visibility is when I've lined up all my listings, I've got them on, say, the active listings page or whatever page, I've got all my listings there. It's a way to compare listings of different ages to look and see which ones are performing a little bit better than others. So if I'm looking down and I'm seeing all my listings and I see some of them have a really high visibility, that says to me, this listing's getting a whole lot of views. I don't want to touch it. This listing is doing well compared to my other listings. If I see listings that have a really low visibility, then I'd say, maybe there's something up with this listing. There's maybe something I should do to work on it. But then once you've done that, you jump in and you change it. As I said, it's not going to immediately change. So you're going to have to just remember in your head and say, okay, I changed this one. I don't need to work on it again. I just need to leave it and see if the changes are improving. Right, I hope that helps. And then we'll get into how can a brand new month-old shop with listings that are missing tags have 100% visibility. Firstly, that visibility can be those views can be coming from anywhere. If the views are coming from social media, they might be coming from search, they might be coming from anywhere. A view is a view. It doesn't matter where it's coming from in terms of the visibility. So the listing could have absolutely terrible SEO, but be getting tons of views from social media. So if you imagine someone who's, I've seen it a lot, people who are superstar artists on YouTube have a massive following, decide to open an Etsy shop. They've got 1 million people follow them on YouTube. They say, hey, I'm going to sell off some of my stuff in my Etsy shop. Go over to my Etsy shop. And suddenly, out of that 1 million people in their audience, a big chunk of them will go to their Etsy shop. That means everything they do, no matter how good the SEO is, that doesn't matter. These people are superstars. So their listings are going to have super high visibility because they're superstars. So it could be coming from there. But also, we've got time, so I'm going to do a little different thing here, getting into how SEO works and things. This is when we talk about the best practices for SEO, like using all 13 of your tags and everything. The algorithm isn't a checklist going, yes, this person has 13 tags. Yes, this person has 10 pictures. All these things are kind of irrelevant. You want to have all of your tags because it gives you more fishing line in the water, as it were. It gives you more chances to get seen. But to get seen for a really good keyword, all you need to do is have it in your tags, somewhere in your tags or in your title or whatever else. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if you were looking for getting seen for wire wrapped ring, all you need to do, if you could have only one tag of wire wrapped ring, and that is enough to tell the algorithm that your item is relevant for wire wrapped ring. You're not going to get shown in necessarily other searches, but you're not going to get shown less high for wire wrapped ring because you only have one tag. You have enough tags, you have the right one. And what you'll find with most of us, most of our listings don't get seen for every single tag we've thrown at it. We throw at it the other 13, we fill in all the 13 to give a chance to find out what's working. But we'll probably find that the majority of our views will come from a small number of the keywords we were aiming for. So it's very easy to have high visibility without having all of the tags. Yeah, I hope that makes some kind of sense there. But yeah, brand new month-old shop could be getting tons of views. I mean, most of us, when we opened our shop, we were excited and we posted on social media and we asked all our friends to go and have a look. That doesn't help or hurt you in any way. It's not a bad thing. But what it could mean is all of their friends have gone and had a look with their brand new listings, which gives them a super high visibility. But it's not organic traffic. It's not traffic that's going to be reproducible. So over time, that visibility is going to drop because they've had a high number of views and now it's going to settle down and they're not going to get so many views, possibly. Brand new shop. Yeah. Hope that makes sense. Right. Another question from Gillian. Thank you so much. I had a listing deactivated this week. The listing I've had for a long time is an Om Mandela coaster. It was removed from containing prohibited content. Has the Om symbol been added to the do not sell list? How can we find out what exactly is on the do not sell list? I'm not. If you search Etsy prohibited items policy, you should find the prohibited items policy. I just read it yesterday. I don't remember seeing that specifically, but I wasn't looking for it. Yeah, guys, if you can let us know, I will actually try and get over there just now if I can find it quickly, and we will go and have a look. I'll see if I can find it while we're here. Might as well. Okay, got the right page. We're on the right page. Just check. I'm not looking at anything dodgy, but I'm always terrified that I am. Okay, so this is Etsy legal prohibited policy. What you can do, obviously, is dispute it, message Etsy, but quite often they won't pre-approve things. Yeah, so can't sell booze, animal products and human remains. Yes. And yeah, well, I will. Right, while we're going through this, because I know there's quite a lot of people that do sell things that they're not supposed to without knowing they should. For things like guns and knives and things, even vintage ones, are not allowed to be sold on Etsy. You can sell cooking knives and letter openers, but yeah, there's limits. Okay, yeah, here's can't use Nazi or KKK things. But yes, I mean, Buddhist things, as far as I can tell, everything's okay. There's nothing specifically there. Yeah, I don't know. Does anyone in the chat know anything about that? That really doesn't look like there's anything. Yeah, it's not from a sanctioned country or anything. Not nudity and mature. Doesn't promote gory and violence. Yeah, I honestly don't know. So, yeah, guys, if you could let us know if you know anything there. But yeah, I thought I had just read that and I thought I hadn't read anything in it. Gorkum, how can I do market research before starting a new business from Etsy? Hey, shall we do some market research? What kind of things can you sell? So we'll go back to here. There's a few places on eRank that you can do market research before starting to sell. A good place to start is right from your dashboard. If anyone doesn't know, you can get to your dashboard from clicking the logo on the top left at any time. A good thing to do just to get a basic idea of the trends. I love this trending on Etsy. So depending on what country you're looking to sell in, but it's always good to look in the USA first. It's a much bigger market. So you can look at just what is trending just now. That is aquamarine jewelry. Interesting. Is that a birthstone? I don't know. But one thing that we have been seeing a load of is people are searching for terms with handmade in them. They are looking for handmade things. So if you can sell something that you make, that is what people on Etsy are looking for, which I think is awesome because it means that all this bad publicity in the media with people seeing stuff from AliExpress being sold on Etsy. People are coming to Etsy because they want to buy handmade. So you can just have a look at this and you can see for the past week. So every week, come in, have a look and just get an idea. For instance, minimalist has been trending for a while. It just gives you an idea of the overarching trends. It doesn't mean that you want to come in and go, I'm going to open up a handmade gift shop. Like, this is such a saturated that this is not a niche, but it gives you an idea. And obviously Easter is trending. Other places are, of course, the Trend Buzz and the monthly trends. Similar thing, you can see what's been trending. You get the little graph here, which I love, like Valentine's gifts for him. You people like searching for things in February for Valentine's Day. But anyway, you can see the seasonality of things. For example, minimalist is searched for all year round, but it is fading. Stickers are holding steady. Furniture and decor. I think you're saying you can sell kitchen towel. That's not something I've like a dishcloth type kitchen towel. But anyway, you can dive in for a kind of kitchen towel trend's pretty good. So as a niche, that is pretty good. So this is the keyword explorer we're looking at here for kitchen towel. And then you can look at the related searches. What are people looking for? It gives you an idea. So monogrammed over the Christmas time was popular. So you can dive into, so you can look at the trends or you can look at the keyword explorer. I do actually prefer the keyword tool. Okay, I can't say Peshtimals. Am I saying something rude here? I don't know what it is, but you can search for it. So yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but it's a little bit too niche. So we'll go back to kitchen. A bit too niche, or it's in a different language. I don't know, sorry. But you said kitchen towel, so we look at kitchen towel. While the keyword tool is really great for market research, I find, because it gives you a whole load of data about what the people are searching for, but because it has to dig into Etsy, it takes a wee minute to get all the data. So the first things for this kind of market research was the top 100 listings ranking for this keyword. You want to put in a broad keyword like kitchen towels or something. Don't niche down yet. Look at the broad thing. So we get an idea of the average price of the top items for this to give you an idea. Is it going to be worth your while if, let's be ludicrous, if you were doing like golden kitchen towels and you want to sell them for $10,000. If you looked at this and you thought, the average price is really low, maybe people searching for kitchen towels don't want to spend that much money. So it gives you an idea of that kind of thing. And then we get to see the most popular tags. This little word cloud is kind of fun. So you can see, is it a dish towel, hand towels? the other tags that the people who are ranking are using here. You can see the categories. But this keyword ideas is a cool place. Now we've got the popular tags, but I like to hit this both button, so it's going to take a wee minute. So what this is doing, it's looking at the popular tags of the top 100 listings, what tags they've got, and also the searches, the similar searches that people are looking for. So you can get an idea. Now the best market research you can do is find out what words people are actually coming to Etsy and searching for, and that's what this is. So when you look at this, you can see the average number of people that are searching for a thing, how much competition you're against, and you've got the little search trend graph here as well, so you get an idea. Tea towel, that was the word I was looking for. So yeah, tea towel. And then if you're thinking, okay, tea towel, that's the word I was looking for, let's find out more about this, you can search and see if there's other what things with the word tea in it to narrow down a bit. So, and this, by the way, looking for tea towels, this is the exact same. If you want to sell earrings, this is what you do with earrings. If you don't go right in to do your wire wrapped earrings or something, you go earrings. What kind of earrings are people looking for? So obviously you can look and say, hey, at Christmas time, people were really looking for Christmas tea towels. So maybe next year, maybe at the end of the summer, I can start a range of Christmas tea towels. And see there's not that many people searching for floral tea towels, kitchen ones, ones with cookies on. But then the other thing you can be doing, like cat tea towels. Well, cats are popular. We know cats are popular, but we've looked at every day, every week, we've looked at the big trends. So we know minimalist style is popular. So what's a kind of minimalist type? What would go in a minimalist kitchen? Or when we knew that cottagecore was really trending, is there a cottagecore kind of look for a tea towel? So that's how you put the trends together. But yeah, use the trend report and use the keyword tool for market research is great ones that I can find. Obviously I can't do everything, but that's a little something. And don't spend hours on it. It is much, much better to open your shop and get things listed, because the very best way to know what's working is to list it, get it up there, and get some data on it. So would spend 10 minutes doing some SEO, get some ideas. Every day, come in and check maybe the daily trend buzz or something. Just have a look at what keywords are absolutely trending, just so you get in your head the idea of the kind of trends. Gillian, oh, it's funny, influencers preach bad SEO tips when in fact they have high visibility. It's because they're influential, not because they know what SEO is. That is definitely a thing. It is. It's so difficult to give advice and show what you're doing, because people who are doing really well, it's easier to rank for keywords because your shop's doing really well. You've had sales, you've had happy customers. If you have a following, then that's a completely different thing. Yeah, the advice has to be completely different. And of course, quite often, none of us are experts. There's no magical expert thing. Even I've worked with Etsy with some SEO experts, within Etsy, and they'll be the first people to tell you that nobody is an expert on these kind of things, because it's based on people as well. It's based on buyer behavior, and also the algorithms are based on machine learning and things. So you've got a thing of machines learning and doing things and what people are doing, so that comes together. It's a bit of a science and an art, so none of us are experts. So if anyone promises anything that it's not possible. We all have to experiment, because what worked when I started my shop is going to be different from what works just now. It's similar. It's finding keywords, researching what people are looking for just now, experimenting with it, taking the best photographs you can. But what was a trending photograph when I opened my shop in 2008 is very different, because now you can use your phone and it's much easier to take pictures. So yeah, there's no exact advice. It's all literally just doing doing the best you can. Yeah. Oh, Gillian, yes, talking about your listing that got taken down. All you can do is speak to Etsy. I haven't heard any. Is anyone else in the chat know why the symbol might be causing an item to get taken down? It could be an overactive algorithm, just thinking it's something it's not. Oh, Gorkum, the word that I don't want to try and say again because I'm probably saying something rude, but it's a Turkish bath towel. Fantastic. Let's look for the kind of styles, bath towels. What are people looking for in bath towels? What Turkish themed trends, the colors, look at what colors are trending just now. I think it's moving into the kind of fiery, earthy stuff for bath things. So look at all the trends and see how your Turkish bath towels fit into that kind of trend. But I can totally see that working. But yes, if you have them and you're making them, don't like tonight, do the keyword research, get your listings up tomorrow. Yeah, okay. I will see if I can find the Facebook questions now. Sorry, it's just me trying to trying to deal with figure out where all the chat is. So sorry if you've been waiting a while. We've got 7 minutes more. I can get the rest of the questions in, and then yeah, hopefully I'll get to everybody. So no, that wasn't a Facebook question. Oh, Debbie put it in the Facebook group. Debbie's got up the link to the Etsy article about the making offers. So if you're not in the Facebook group, I can't get the tags. Can I get the, hang on. Can I link? I can't link. Oh, drat. I can't link things over to YouTube just now. But there should be a link in the description of this video if you're on YouTube that will take you to join the Facebook group, and you'll get to see all the links in there. Sorry, usually we have a bigger team running the behind the scenes. This is just me. Here we go. We have, sorry, I can't see everybody on Facebook's names, just the way the software works. So Facebook user, I'm sorry. Can you please explain why my shop has a bestseller product? I have the same product in different colors with a different type of personalization as another listing, but no sales. What am I doing wrong? Do you mean, right, do you mean why is one of your listings a bestseller and another listing that's very similar, another of your listings is not a bestseller, or another Etsy seller has something very similar? But either way, it's kind of the same thing. So a bestseller, Etsy doesn't tell us the criteria for this, but it seems to be in the niche that your listing is in, that listing is making more sales than the other listing, so it's doing really well. You have there's one listing, and when it was shown, it started to do well. Now, what happens is, as we said, with personalizations and things, not every single person sees the exact same things when they search for the same term. So sometimes one listing will be shown and sometimes another listing will be shown. Now, very, very subtle changes can make a very big difference, but even if they were exactly the same, they're getting shown at different times to different customers. So this is where there's kind of a little bit of luck that goes on, because that listing could be shown at a time when there is somebody on who likes that style more than they like other people's stuff. So you might have two identical listings, but when this one was shown, the right person was searching on Etsy at that time. So that one made a sale. Because it made the sale and then it gets the review, it now has a better listing score from Etsy. Etsy now says, hey, this listing's a bit good. So Etsy will show this more often. So it's been shown more often, so it's got more chance to be seen by the right people. So that's where just a little bit of luck comes into play. It was seen at the right time. Now, Starla spoke about this in her skeleton key necklaces. She has, like, there's the option for a whole range of colors, and she had her main picture was a necklace with one color and all the other options elsewhere in the listing. One day she changed it. There's nothing else in the picture changed apart from the color of the stone in the necklace. That's it. And then suddenly it started to do well. And it was just because when it was shown, the right person was looking at the right time. So, yeah, you can have two nearly identical listings and they were just the right time at the right place. They're liked slightly better, so they get shown better and the algorithm starts to understand them better and understand the type of people to show it to. So that's another reason why you can't just make one listing and say, oh, that's it, it doesn't work, people don't like this kind of thing. You've got to experiment a bit, slightly different pictures, slightly different wording, different times of the year, and it will just get shown to the right person eventually, basically. Linda was watching last week's videos. Another Facebook question. Sorry if you've already answered. Can you recommend a good training video for eRank? I sell vintage merch. You're in the Facebook group. I just put up a PDF last week of some of the YouTube videos that we have. Also, at the top of the Facebook group, you'll find guides. We're still working on these. It's not perfect because it's Facebook and Facebook doesn't let you do the things the way you want to, but there's things there. It's basically a case of not every single tool in eRank will be 100% relevant for you. So decide what it is that you want to work on. Do you want to work on learning about competitors? Do you want to work on SEO, learning about keywords and things? And what is it that you specifically want to work on in your shop? And then just ask in the Facebook group for a little more advice about that. And we'll direct you to a video if we've got one, but there isn't, because there is so many different ways to run a successful shop. eRank has help for so many different types of shops and different types of people doing different types of things. So there's no one video to show you 100% how to use eRank because we all use it differently. So just let us know what you want to focus on and we'll hopefully help you. And if there aren't videos and training guides for the thing you want to do, we'll get it done. Lisa, first live on eRank. Hello there. I'd like to use eRank more to look for trends. Is it available on the free version? There is limitations. I'll see, excuse me, very quickly for the, so won't have time for more questions, guys. I'm just going to see if I can log into my free account on eRank and we can show you what we've got there. But I of course don't remember my password, so I have to hope it's saved me. And yes, I'm in my free account, right. So we will quickly show in stream. So this is a free account of eRank. So what have we got in a free account? So, and I don't always remember. So if you're looking for trends and things, firstly, trending on Etsy, you've got this here for free. So you don't necessarily see everything with a free account, but you do see a lot. So you can keep an eye on your trends from right here. You can't get the trend buzz, but we do have the monthly trends. Anything with a little crown on is for the paid subscriptions. So yes, you get just the top 5, but that's enough of a help. So you get a little bit there, but you also get the keyword tool. And all right, wire wrapped ring. Don't know why that's in my head just now. So you're going to look at this and you're going to go, oh, this is rubbish. You don't see the trend graph. This is nowhere near as good as the paid version, but there's sneakies once this loads. This is not eRank being slow. This is eRank going into the Etsy API and picking up the data from there. So Etsy API is running a bit slow, but there we go. So when you scroll down, now, yes, you can't see the searches or the click-through rate or anything, but you can see the trend graph. So you can actually see the searches. You just have to hover. I didn't tell you that. So you can still see the trends. What's trending in keywords like boho ring? That was like big last year and it's dropping off. Wire wrap jewelry, is that making a comeback? So yes, keyword tool with a free account can still help you. You still have the trends, the monthly trends and the trend on the dashboard. So there is still stuff there. Absolutely can do it with a free account. In my opinion, there's tons of stuff you can do on the free account. Just they take a little bit longer. It's not necessarily all in your face in the one tool. You might have to click around a couple of tools. That's the difference, as it were. I hope that makes sense. That the free account is definitely enough to get you on your way, and then hopefully once you start making tons of money and you want to save a bit of time, then you can upgrade. But you should be able to do most things on the free account. Right, guys, I did an hour. Thank you so much for keeping me company. Yeah, I hope that helped. If you're on the YouTube, check out in the description to get the link to join the Facebook group if you have any further questions or want to get in the early doors questions. If you're in the Facebook group, don't forget to sign up to subscribe for the YouTube channel, because we're going to be making loads more videos. And if you have specific questions about how to use tools or how to do things, hopefully we'll be making videos on that. But yeah, thank you all, guys, and I'll see you next week.